Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first, took us 70 years, but our first 25 Outstanding South Student Award. First of all, to the 25 students, give your parents and family a hand for being here. Those students, please. We're going to try to follow a simple script tonight. I'm going to speak quickly, then our keynote speaker will speak, and then we're going to have City Councilor Griffin and school committee members Rodriguez and Oliver present some awards. We're going to have the kids take a picture first that will go on the Hallway of Fame plaque, so they'll be forever in the halls of South. Okay, something special. And then afterwards, I'll give out the citations from Mayor Sullivan and Representative Mendes. Senator Brady will be on the way. If you know Senator Brady, he's always late. When he's over at Massasoit doing another function, so in this case, it's okay. And then, when Senator Brady gets there, he will do what Councilor Griffin, school committee members Rodriguez, and all of it do, in the sense that he'll pass out all 25 citations. So, that'll expedite the process. We have a lot of people. And the food will be out shortly. But we're going to begin. Let's start. The first thing to say is Toss is a 25 Outstanding South student. By the way, my name is Jim Stapleton. I've been teaching 39 years. 39 years. Yes, I did stop when I was 12. No, 2. I was 2 years old. I was a prodigy. But anyway, Miss Gomez and I, 2 years ago, Miss Gomez, Amanda, is a former South student. And we talked about what was happening at South. It was going downhill. It was going downhill fast. We had swearing in the hallways, fights, vaping in the bathroom. And we thought we had to do something to solve the problem. We knew we couldn't control everything, but we had to try. So Ms. Gomez and I decided, let's raise money and do various things. We do a Heroes Day in the fall, fallen veterans. We did the pizza challenge, which amazingly was a great contest and people had so much fun. We do a Hall of Fame at South. We're going to be doing a Career Day. In 2 weeks, we're doing a gala on your program. The gala is free this year for adults, children stay away. It's a nice event. If you want to do something on a Saturday night, there's the information in that program. And we also will be having another event like this for the children who didn't win Toss. It's called Our Time, which was for the next 25 kids in the process. So how we selected these 25 students today, people nominated them, and then many of the students sent forth applications, PowerPoints, and letters. And I watched everybody. I watched everybody to watch their character. I listened to them in the hallways. I saw their grades, bad grades eliminated, average grades eliminated. I wanted the best of the 175 South Middle School students. That's what we searched for, and we found them. So as parents and grandparents, you ought to be so proud. These are the best. These are the kids who began a renaissance at South that has never been seen before. What has happened in the last year is remarkable. And when your best kids are your best students and come from your best families and they leave, this is what we get. So with that said, I'm going to go right now and talk very briefly about Ms. Gomez, former South student, former South teacher. I hope she never comes back. She's on sabbatical. I hope she never comes back because she's happy in doing what she's doing, and she's our speaker today, Amanda Gomez.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. So Mr. Stapleton kind of gave me a little intro already. I went to South as a student back in 07, 08, 09, around there. And I was teaching at South from 2019 until last year. So South has a very special place in my heart, and I'm sure it has a special place in your heart as well. I did want to just thank everyone for coming and for supporting. I did want to thank our SOAP committee, who stands for our South Opportunity Achievement Program. Because of them and because of our donors like Joe Angelo, we can put on events like this. So before I begin, I did have something for the students. So if you guys can each just pass one only to the kids. They can choose which one they want. Yeah, you can just take one and go ahead pass it around. And if you're in this room and you were in my class last year, could you please raise your hand? All right, I see a lot of them, which means, you know, obviously you're here because I taught you well. But, no, I'm just kidding. But if you were in my class last year, what we're passing around is a mirror. Can someone tell me what we used to do with the mirror? Naomi. And what else? Self-reflect. And what did I have you guys say in the mirror when you looked at yourselves? Positive things, right? Yeah, so the point of that exercise was to look in the mirror, tell yourself that you're confident, tell yourself that you're brave, tell yourself that you're smart, and because of yourselves, believing in yourselves, that's why you're here today. So along with your family and your friends and the city that believed in you, you're also here because you believed in yourself. And I want to encourage you guys to continue to believe in yourselves every single day, especially now that you're going into high school and some of you, you know, beyond. I want you to take that same energy and put it into the things that you love to do. Being your teacher last year really inspired me to also reflect and look in the mirror and tell myself that I was also brave and that I was also confident. And that made me brave enough to take this year off and the next one. Sorry for the news. To start my own business. I started my own interior design business along with jumping both feet into real estate without any regrets and without any fear. So I want to thank you guys also for inspiring me, and I hope that I've inspired you as well to follow your dreams and to keep working hard, keep your heads up, and again, I just want to thank you guys all for coming today.
One of the things I learned in 39 years is always change the schedule, always be adjustable. So we're going to go first with Senator Mike Brady. He's just gotten here, and I know he's a busy man. So we're going to have Senator Brady come up. He will read one citation, and then he will pass them out to each of the 25 children. So that will be the easiest way because Senator Brady's been out all day, and he just came from another event. So here's Senator Michael Brady from Brockton, Massachusetts.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone putting this on. This is a wonderful event. And thanks for Joe and Sheila and Angelo for hosting this. And congratulations to all the students. So as Jim mentioned, I'm going to read one. I got to get in the light so I can see it. So this is an official citation being known to the Massachusetts Senate that hereby extends its congratulations, and I'll name all the students afterwards, in recognition of your being chosen as one of the 25 outstanding South Middle School students for 2025, and be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate, Karen Spilka, the Clerk of the Senate, Michael Hurley, myself, Mike Brady. Congratulations to you all. I'm going to read the names as we go along, so if you can hold that. I gotta put the glasses on if I have them here. Sure. Jim's gonna help me out and read them, but you guys are better than mine, and then I'll...
Allegedly.
Go ahead,
Canary Paul. Hallie Seal. Ellen Silva. Kelly O'Neill. Zachary Fistner. Eddie Mauro Barbosa. Jose Guzman. Lillian DePina. Come on, Lily. Can you find a way? Aiden Santil. I know this guy is here. Malik Miranda. Victoria De Silva. Juliana Andre. I think I saw her yet. Okay, we'll put hers aside for now. Next up, Anaya Morel. Haley Donahue. Angelina Oliver. I'm not sure I saw it. Janaya Fonseca. Helene DePina. Charlotte Tate. Zoe Reynolds. Naomi Murphy. LJ Lynch. Wesley Montero. Nathan Martins. Tice Cabral. Guys, come on in with Senator Brady. Thank you, Senator Brady, for taking time for your busy day to be here. He supports us in everything we do, so he's there every single time. I would never tell someone how to vote when they vote for senator, but I would say you'd be crazy not to vote for Senator Brady. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you.
I think we should do the picture when the parents go to get food. Let the parents get
And congratulations to all the students. You are what makes the City of Champions. The City of Champions, good luck in your future endeavors. God bless you all.
Our next presenter will do the same thing that Senator Brady did, and he's going to pass out citations from the City Council. So again, we had to adjust the schedules. It's a little chaotic. We'll make it work. It's the idea, the concept of what's important. So, City Councilor from Ward 3 in South, of course, is in Ward 3. Our City Councilor is Phil Griffin. So if I could call Phil on up to present citations, just like we did with Senator Brady.
Thank you, Jim. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, my name is Phil Griffin. I'm the Ward 3 City Councilor. I just want to thank you for coming tonight. I just want to say a couple things about South Junior High. We're going to several events the last couple of years after school. And I just want to say to all the parents here, we're very fortunate for the children to go to that school, but that is indeed a special place. When you walk into that school, it's a special atmosphere there, and that atmosphere doesn't happen by itself. It really has to do with the administrators of that school, Stapler, Mr. Astro, Ms. Gomez, and she was there, Ms. Thomas. There's a real culture there that really seems to be different than all other schools I go to. And you children that are there now, when you're a little bit older, you're going to look fondly in those years you spent there. So again, I want to congratulate all the students who are getting these awards tonight. And I'm going to read one out, then we're going to hand them out individually. Jim, can you hold on to that, please? Thank you. All the citations are going to say the same. The only differential will be the names on it, so I'm going to read it one time. This is an official citation. Let it be known that the Brockton City Council hereby extends its congratulations to, this will be Angelo Oliver, in recognition of being selected as one of the 25 outstanding South Middle School students. And let it be further known that the City Council extends best wishes for continued success, that this citation was duly signed by the President of the Council and attested to, and a copy therefore transmitted by the Clerk of the Council. It's signed by Council President Jeff Thompson, City Clerk Tim Cruz, and myself. So, Ms. Oliver, you're here. I saw you earlier. Why don't you read them, Jim?
Okay. I will read them, and if you could, come on up and shake hands with the counselor. Anaya Morel. Shake hands with the counselor.
Congratulations, great work. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Aiden Santil.
Aiden, great work. Keep up the good work.
I noticed, by the way, when you look at the cover of this, it says Brockton. Settled 1700, town 1821, city 1881. Education, industry, and progress. Wow. That's us. They really got it right. We don't get everything right, but we got that one right, Brockton. Good job. Charlotte Tate.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
I feel like there's a couple weeks ago I was watching ESPN, and they would say, with the next pick in the 2025 draft, South Middle School picks Canary Paul. Congratulations.
Congratulations, young man. Keep up the good work. Good kid.
Janaya Fonseca. Congratulations, Janaya.
Congratulations. Keep up the good
Keep
work,
at it.
young lady.
You know, one of the great things, you're going to have so many citations by the end of the night. If you need to wallpaper, you're going to have it done. You're going to have so many citations. Next up, Haley Donahue.
Congratulations, Haley. Keep up the good work.
L.J. Lynch. Jim Loudon, I don't need a microphone.
All right.
Block it, L.J. He's such a gentleman. He wasn't pushing and shoving. What a good guy. Thanks, L.J. Take the counselors in.
Congratulations, my friend. Keep up the good work. Best of luck with everything.
Kalini DePina.
Met you early. Congratulations, young lady. Keep up the good work.
Naomi Murphy. She's one of the mock trial people.
That's right.
Mock trial.
Congratulations. Good work. See you.
Nathan Martins. Quiet selection. Great kid.
Congratulations, young man. Keep up the good work.
Tice Cabral. There you go, Tyson. Wesley Montero. Congratulations, Wes.
Wes, what's happening, buddy? Good job.
Zoe Reynolds. Congratulations, Zoe.
Zoe, congratulations. Keep up the good work.
I don't think Juliana got here yet, right? Did Juliana wind up coming in?
Yes, she did.
Oh, she did. Juliana! Andre! We got another one up here for Juliana. Oh, you already gave it to her? Miss Gomez, so efficient.
You're the best.
Thank you, Juliana. Make sure you shake
Juliana,
hands.
congratulations. Keep up the good work, young lady.
Victoria Da Silva. Don't forget to shake his hand.
Victoria, congratulations with the good
She
work.
gave the keynote yesterday at the mock trial.
Oh, really? Okay.
All the schools, yeah.
Awesome.
Malik Miranda. Sure you shake.
Malik, how are you, buddy? Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Lillian DePina.
I know. God, buddy, I'm dying.
Congratulations, Lillian.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work, young lady.
Jose Guzman.
Hooray.
Congratulations, Jose.
Congratulations, Jose. Keep up the good work, pal. Great job.
Eddie Mauro Barboza. Great mix. Really hot.
Congratulations, young man. Great job. Keep up the good work, pal.
Zach Finsker. Kelly O'Neill.
Congratulations, young lady. Keep up the good work. Here's your mother right there. Congratulations.
Ellen Silva.
Congratulations, young lady.
And Hallie Seal.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
My period 5 class yesterday, I know Hallie's here, Charlotte, Canary, Malik, Wes, LJ, who am I missing? Aiden. Yesterday, they saw me get as mad as I get in school. Remember, Canary? We could not find certificates. It was bad. I almost yelled. I was so flustered. Sometimes things get delivered and they disappear. So yesterday we had that problem, but we found it. They were citations from the mayor's office. We found them. Unfortunately, today we've been told citations from the school department are now missing. So if you could, check your shoes, check your feet, make sure no one stepped on them. We cannot find them right now. But I will pass them out tomorrow. They're somewhere at South. So I just want to acknowledge, and if they want to speak, they're more than welcome, because we have 2 school committee members here. Anna Oliver and Tony Rodriguez are both here. They are not the blame behind this. Somehow these citations are missing. But I want you to know, if you do want to blame them, just let me get out of the way before you throw something at them. But no, it wasn't their fault. But here's Anna and Tony.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And I'm going to keep it short because I don't want to embarrass my daughter. She's already covering her face over there. But I am extremely proud of all the little dragons. You guys are incredible students, and I wish you all the best of luck at Brockton High and also wherever you're going after. But we are truly, as your parents, proud of you for all the accomplishments you guys have been doing. You guys are incredible students, and you guys are definitely putting South on the map in Brockton. Because they really was, you know, not very happy with South, and we are basically getting to the top, and I am extremely proud of all of our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna and Tony. They have been huge members of our SOAP organization, and a few others are here. Former Ward 2 school committee member Cynthia Rivas, Mendes Rivas, you still here? She was here somewhere earlier. Joe Arsenal, right back here. Joe Arsenal, a member of our committee. 8th grade social studies teacher. If you have him, you don't have to worry about as much homework as me, but that's okay. That's okay. Joe's a great guy. He's really is. I think also Peter Banis is here somewhere. Peter's a retired teacher. If he catches you and starts talking to you, have a cell phone ready, text someone, because otherwise you're going to leave one ear less. He'll talk it off. Let me tell you that much. But Peter's a great guy. He's a former Walmart, Massachusetts Teacher of the Year. He's also a South Hall of Famer. Matthew Stanton's in back. He helps us out also with SOAP. Tony and Anna, Amanda. And now let's get ready for the big awards. Let's go through now. And this is where I get a chance to say something very briefly about each, and we're going to work them through. I have citations from Mayor Sullivan, if you could grab me one. And then this time we'll do it slightly different. I will say something about the child. We'll have read the citation from Mayor Sullivan, and I'll also read the citation from Representative Mendes. And then when the child is called up, they'll come up, get 2 citations in their plaque. And then I know we're doing it differently. We're going to get the picture afterwards of all the kids that goes on the wall forever. The citation from the Office of the Mayor, City of Brockton, official citation. Be it known that the Mayor of Brockton hereby extends his congratulations to student of the day, whoever it is, in recognition of your selection as one of the 25 outstanding South students. Your academic achievements are commendable, and we wish you continued success in all your future endeavors. Therefore, it gives me great pleasure to present the citation to you as a symbol of my appreciation. The citation is duly signed by the Mayor of the City of Brockton on this day, the 15th of May, 2025, Robert Sullivan, Esquire, Mayor, City of Brockton. So that's from Mayor Bob, and we'll appreciate that. And we also have from Representative Mendes. And I'll read from Rita first, and then we'll begin the remaining presentations. From Rita, it says, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives citation. Be it hereby known in all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest apology to Student of the Day. In recognition as being selected as a 25 Outstanding South Student, TOS, for your dedication and performance at school, the entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for the future, good fortune, and continued success in all your endeavors. Signed by Ron Mariano, the Speaker of the House from Quincy. Offered by Rita Mendes. Also signed by Michelle Dubois, who represents the eastern part of the city. Also signed by Bridget Plouffe, who represents a couple of wards in Ward 3, a couple of precincts in Ward 3. So signed by all three of our Massachusetts House of Representatives members. With that said, let's go to the first plaque, and then Ms. Gomez will hand out those. On the left, Ms. Gomez, right there should be. If you can take them out, that'd be doing that way, and then we can give them. That'll make it easier. When you come to get your plaque, we have a casing for it, so if you want to take the case home with it. But the first person we're going to present the plaque to, it's really appropriate this young lady goes first. This girl is one of the key young ladies in changing the school. She was a new student at South this year. She came in, and she set a tone for her class. Her class has 7 TOS kids here. She set a tone. She thinks I don't like her, but I admire her so much. You're going to hear great things about her in the future. Probably the Ivy League someday, somewhere. Victoria De Silva. You got the two citations for her. Look, bring up the 2 citations for her. Keep it at the same time. If you could pass them up. You gotta give me 2 citations. And you got 1, you got 2? Yeah. Where do I? Are they upside down here? Congratulations, Victoria. This next young man did something special this year as an 8th grader. He's so musically gifted and talented. He performed in the Brockton High School Band, something I've never really heard of in 8th grade. And Brockton High School Band's quite a show. Just a class act at all he does. Aiden Santil. Thank you. Mr. Arsenal really recommended this young man. He's in my home room, but I do not have him in the classroom. Mr. Arsenal talked about the way he comes prepared all the time for school, the way he carries himself, always ready, always helpful. Just a wonderful young man. Jose Guzman. About a month ago, we were doing a fundraiser up in Texas Roadhouse. And this guy came up out of nowhere and helped us out. And he really helped us out. And then he came back a second time. He's the type of kid who does things. He doesn't need credit. He just does it because it's right. L.J. Lynch. In the fall, we do a Hall of Fame. We induct 12, 13, 14 people from South, some who went to school 50, 60, 70 years ago at South, some went to school 30 years ago. This past year, we inducted one of our youngest members ever, an outstanding young lady. Today, we induct her cousin into the first TOS. A student I had last year, a great future barrister. I see her in the mock trial. I see her playing basketball. She got hurt this year. She probably shouldn't have been playing, came back and played the championship game, tried to play on one foot essentially, but she tried. Nothing gets in her way. Naomi Murphy. When we were selecting the 25, this next person wasn't on the original list. Second time we made a list, he wasn't on the list. Third time, he wasn't on the list. He was one of those people that you had to keep watching. You had to keep saying, wow, this kid only does the right thing. He's not flashy. He doesn't speak out of turn. He never calls attention to himself. But he's one of those who's there every day doing the right thing, no matter where I look. Eventually I told him, because he didn't even apply, I said, you gotta put in a PowerPoint or a letter for me, please, because I think you got a chance. And it's one of the greatest picks we made. Nathan Martins. When I think of community involvement, and South is a community. When I think of community involvement, this young lady is the epitome. Every time you turn around, she's involved in an activity at school that's positive. Whether it's doing the morning announcements, cheerleading, everything. Just everywhere you go. She has student council. She has, she's going to hate me for this, a huge presence in the school. None other than a 2-year victim of me. I had this young lady for 2 years in class. That's cruel and unusual punishment. She would probably know the 8th Amendment doesn't allow that. But nonetheless, congratulations to the great, and I mean great, Janiyah Fonseca.
A huge presence, I said.
I have one class at school where the majority of the children do not speak English. And so it's really tough. I'm not sure how well I speak English, but I don't speak Portuguese Creole. So I depend upon a couple of young ladies in that class, this one particular person. Every time, I think last term she had an average over 100. Because she gets 100 on everything and she does some extra credit stuff. And I sit there and tell her, you can't have an average of 105. It's just not making it right for other kids. So, but she's just a great person. Again, reliable, smile on the face, helpful, and she raises other kids up with her activity. How she goes over and helps children who might need some additional support is really fantastic. Of course, that's Kalini DePina. Another one of Mr. Arsenal's secret superstars. He was pushing this young man all the way through. So I had to watch, I had to check out to make sure this kid was really as good as Arsenal said. So every time I saw him around the school, he was. He really was. And Arsenal said you could always count on him no matter what's going on to be level-headed, to be sure. A real leader in a school. A real leader. And sometimes we don't recognize those people. That's why I love Toss. We get a chance to see and celebrate these people. And of course, in this case, it's Tice Cabral. Technical issues. Please hang on while we resolve our technical issues. I could begin while they search and find the other two. This year, after 25 years, I finally left. I was the basketball coach for 25 years at Massasoit. I finally left. And then they said, hey, you want to coach middle school basketball? I said, yeah, why not? They already had made a team. They had already cut kids. And I said, what? We can't be cutting kids in 8th grade, 7th grade. Everyone who wants to be on the team can be on the team. So I'm not sure this person made the team originally or not. But he was a great kid in the classroom, an A student, always positive. Maybe the highest IQ of any of our boys. I really think that. He might be inherently the smartest boy in our school. His mind is just fantastic. And then he began playing basketball. And he wasn't great, but he was good. And he kept playing, He loves to play, loves to compete. He just loves to be involved in school. And this is what schools are built around. And of course, hopefully we found his other citations. I'm talking about Wesley Montero.
Wes, congratulations. You got Wes, wait, you got the right papers?
That says Wesley.
Okay.
So we're missing one.
This is mine.
You got that. Sitting in the middle of my period 3 class every day is a steadying influence. A young lady who never calls attention. She has her notebook ready. Her attention is there to detail. She goes about her business. She just gets A's. She's always prepared. Someday, I'm not sure what she'll become in life. She'll have so many options. But I know one thing she will be, and that will be a success, because she's talented. Lillian DePina.
Ah, that's even better. Thank you.
I'm not sure I shouldn't have to sing Hail to the Chief. We have the president here. The president of South. We have the president of Student Council. I mean, we're so lucky to have that. You know we got a good group. She brings that presidential leadership to the classroom, but in such a humble way. She goes about her business. She's just a real nice kid who's always prepared. Again, this is why we're tossed. But she's our president. So with that said, I better not say too much, otherwise I could get in trouble. President Hallie Seal. I shouldn't say one of my favorite students, but one of my favorite of all time is this young lady. Every day she comes into class, sits down right in front. No one ever tells her where to sit. She sits right in front, and she's so prepared. And the stride she has made this year is just phenomenal. One of my all-time favorites, and that's in 39 years. I mean, everyone here is now historic. But in this case, this young lady is really, it's amazing. They talk about growth at school as a student. And I know this young lady is going to achieve way more than probably many expected. She's just a superior person. Ellen Silva. When we were making toss, there was the prototype. There was the person that everyone chose, and I mean everyone chose as number one. When we made the list, no matter who the teacher was, they talked about the way this young man carried himself around school. The way he, along with everyone else, but in some ways he, walked that hallway, being prepared. I won't forget when, he's a basketball player, when the South team lost a close game in the finals, despite the fact that he scored over 30 points and had 25 rebounds. It's middle school basketball, and he understood that. He understood that life's a journey, steps along the way. This young man, just like most of us, all of us, maybe not me, but the rest of you, is going many places. You're going to see his name, his picture in the paper over the next few years. And just really one of the nicest kids I could ever work with. Canary Paul. But he still can't dunk. He still can't dunk. He's got to work on those legs. He's got to get stronger. Just kidding. I don't know about this next one. I'm not sure what she's doing here. I'm not sure what she's doing here. How did this person make the list? This is the person I've had the pleasure to drive to school for the last 3 years every day. I've had in my 39-year career. I never drove my son to school, although he's here. Where are you, David? Congratulations. I never gave him a ride. I gave my other son, Andrew, a ride to South for a year. I gave my daughter a ride to South. But in this case, I gave this young lady a ride for the last 3 years to South. I tried to convince her mom and dad a couple of years ago to buy a house in Brockton, to not to do the chicken dance and run down to Bridgewater, to not to run to those other places that we have everything here and more. And they did. They stayed, and she excelled. She did better on her standardized testing than she did when she was in another small town. Because we are the City of Champions, and we create champions, and everyone here is one. But in this case, I'm going to recognize Haley Donahue. And by the way, she might make the best chocolate chip cookies the world has ever seen. If anyone had a chance to buy them last week or 2 weeks ago, did anyone buy any? How were they? Pretty good? Yeah, we got to get more. More chocolate chip cookies from her. I think she should be suspended until she makes a couple hundred more. Our point guard. And a very level-headed kid. I've watched this kid for 3 years because I remember back in 6th grade, and then I was up in his class last year in math class. I'd go visit Miss Gomez, and I watched him, and sometimes he was silly, and now to see where he's gone and what he's become. It's the same thing as watching him as a basketball player. Beginning of the year, I didn't play him much. End of the year, we couldn't take him off the court. That's what he was like. He's just the same way as a student, same way of maturity. He has one issue. His grandfather, Domingos, I don't know about you, if he's still here. I used to coach with Don back in Abington in 1989. 89, that's a long time ago. Well, whatever, what's it now, 2002? Something like that. It's a couple of years ago. But anyway, just a great kid, does everything right. Perfect attitude in school. If you could clone a student, this is why we want him. Malik Miranda.
Pictures. Oh, wow, you got a whole crew of photographs.
I got to be nice on this. This young lady, I was not expecting as much as we got from her this year. I know that I had seen her around at school for a couple of years. I didn't know what her talent level was. I didn't know what her commitment to all activities in school positive, whether it was cheerleading or whether it was involved in, I mean, every time you turn around, she's just helping someone. And I marvel at what she did this year as an 8th grader. I truly do. Way above what I would have ever expected. I'm glad she is who she is, and that's an outstanding person. Zoe Reynolds. Two years ago, I labeled this young lady as part of the nerd herd. The nerd herd still exists a little bit at South. And Haley and this young lady were definitely the queens of the nerd herd. But along the way, I've learned a lot about her. Again, one of Mr. Arsenal's top students, one of those people who we know is going great places. I'll be curious someday what she becomes. Mr. Arsenal told me that she wants to be a power weightlifter. That's correct, right? She wants to be in the Olympics as a weightlifter, and she works hard on it every day. She's up to what, 8 pounds? 8 and a half, that's good, that's good, she's getting there. But really a great student, great person, great personality, everything you can want. Her parents, yeah, they should be very proud of her, as we all should be of all our children. Kelly O'Neill.
Hey, I'm going to shake your hand, get that. Congratulations, the face of mom. You got it?
I must say, before we pass this now, there is no stipulation that says if your mother's on the school committee, you have to be selected. No, this young lady is selected for so many reasons. First of all, the charm and good nature. Again, one of Mr. Arsenal's students, but she's really a student of South. She's a student of everything. She's a student of everyone. She is just a great kid. You see her down the hallway, always that infectious smile, that attitude that says, I can do. That's nothing's going to stop me, that I'm going to be number one. So, just, you know, we're so fortunate. Sometimes we forget that we get to work with your kids. We get to work with the best that we could possibly have. And this young lady is certainly one of them. Congratulations, Angie. Face this way. Face this way. You in there. I think he might have been the king of the nerd herd. I don't know if we had a male side of the nerd herd, but if we did, he might have been the leader back in the day. But then he might be the music man who's not named Abe. I always see this guy going into the auditorium carrying his musical instrument, performing away in the band. You know he's going to be a great success. I mean, music just does that to people. Music's an amazing thing. I wish I could, actually, I can sing. I can sing better than Elvis Presley can right now. I'm better today than Michael Jackson is today also. But that said, I cannot play musical instruments. This kid can do it all, and again, Mr. Arsenal recommends him. He's one of those geniuses walking around school that Mr. Arsenal creates, and this is one of the products that he has. Zachary Fiston. Some days, I wonder where this kid gets the energy he gets. He shows up, and he asks more questions than I think anyone maybe in my 39-year career. He shows up, there's question, question, question. It's non-stop. I wonder what they're feeding him at home. I really wonder, the parents back there, what they feed this kid at home, because he comes in and he has that attitude. I know that he was in the bilingual program and he worked his way out faster than virtually anyone in school history, because that's him. He's going places. But man, he's questions. And I can tell you, I'm glad I have him period 3, because it tired me out if I had him period 5, 6, 7, or 8. This kid's always asking. I'm afraid he's going to be up here in a second with the microphone. He's going to ask a lot of questions. But really, he's an outstanding young man, a class act at all he does. Eddie Mario Barboza. Also a member of the Mock Tribe.
You can't ask a question right now. You know, we got a picture. Eddie, hold that so she can see it.
Last year I had this young lady for like a week in class before they moved her up as a 7th grader. This year I've been lucky to have her all year. I had her brother in class, and again, this young lady's involved. If there's a sport going on at school, she's there. If there's homework going involved, she's there. She outworks maybe almost every kid in the school on a day-to-day basis. Athletically, socially, behaviorally. When you think of toss, this is the prototype in many ways for the young ladies. Outstanding young lady, Charlotte Tate. I do have to say, beginning of the year, I thought my period 3 class was like 26, 27 kids. And these were the kids who might not have scored the highest on MCAS last year. So they weren't in advanced or whatever they call it. But 7 of them were selected for toss. 7. No class was was more represented than this one class, because it had a great core. It had a great core of students, and one of the great students in that class, beautiful smile, she sits there, she works hard. I ask her questions, she's always ready, no matter what. She doesn't bring attention to herself, but when you ask her the answer, she's always ready. The notes are meticulous, the organization is great. You know, this is maybe a future lawyer, maybe a future professor, a banker, whatever. Another great South success story developing. Anaya Morel. Mr. Arsenault recommended this lady, and it was a great pick. Just a great pick. I have this young lady in homeroom. I don't have her in school. But every time I watched her, as I watched over the last 100 and whatever days of school, I saw a person who was so kind and giving, who had a great sense of humor, a wonderful personality, a prize-winning smile, and just that sense that you know this person is going somewhere big in life, that they're going to be the ultra success. Again, Mr. Arsenault couldn't speak highly enough. It's just a fantastic young winner, Juliana Andre. One extra note, Ms. Gomez said, oh,
Let's turn, hold it up so you can see.
one extra thing Ms. Gomez just mentioned about Juliana is last year she initiated the cheerleading team itself, which had been dormant for 15 years. She brought it back this year. West copied you, and I think Porth did, right? A couple schools copied, thanks to her. That's what makes it special. I just want to say a couple things. We're going to get the kids' picture. We need to get the children picture before we commence for the night. But I would be wrong if I didn't have a final closing word or two. Thank you for everyone for coming out tonight. It was warm. It was just a wonderful crowd. First time of toss. This is outstanding. You guys have set a standard. And I cannot emphasize enough what you have done. You changed the school. You changed a culture of a school, which is the toughest thing to do. You turned a ship around that might have been going in the wrong direction and brought it back. You made us the envy of not just Brockton, but the South Shore. South is on the rise. South will reach its peak again, thanks to you. You started it. You started this revolution. You started the idea that we in Brockton don't just have to be a city of champions because of two fighters from the 50s and from the 80s. We can still be the city of champions, and we are. And you guys started that back up at South. That spirit will not leave. That spirit will not die. What you have done will carry over. Your picture in the hallway of fame, will be seen by everybody. As long as there's the South, there's you. Our first toss class. And it's a first class toss. Hey, that was pretty good. That was pretty, I gotta think of that one. That was good. So I want to thank everyone. Give yourself a round of applause, please. Thank you for coming to toss. Don't let us ever hold anyone back. Let's continue to rise up. We got to be number one. We got to show Brockton. We got to show everyone. South is the best. We all know it. We all know it. We got to keep spreading that word throughout. TOS students are the best. We are the best. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you to everyone. And again, May 31st, if you got nothing, come to the gala. But otherwise, I need all the TOS winners up here for a quick picture that goes on the plaque. Thank you so much.